Every single morning I wake up and there's a moment of bliss. Then I remember. I get up and I get on with what I chose, but oh, how I wish we could celebrate the solo career of Melanie C.
You're listening to
Pod of the Pops, the podcast that relives and reloves pop culture. Welcome back to Pod of the Pops. It's Melanie C week. We are the podcast that celebrates the solo careers of the Spice Girls, reliving and reloving the moments you forgot you didn't know. Trying to prove that they were more successful than people give them credit for.
You didn't know you forgot.
What did I say? Well, we pick up in 2007. The Spice Girls are finishing and wrapping up a reunion tour. I have a small confession to start the episode.
Okay.
So when we did Mel C #1, and no one on Twitter has picked up on this yet, so I know. Mel C's album this time had actually come out before the reunion tour. But I was just really tired and I didn't want to research it. So I made an executive decision to push it into this episode.
Very good.
Which wasn't very good because she releases so much music. This episode
so
may
much.
be long.
No, we're complaining.
Sorry, but you got a short one with Emma. So I'm going to talk about Melanie C's This Time album as if it did not come out before the tour. But, you know, in my defence, she loves releasing an album around the time of a tour.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
Forever 2.0. But I suppose in her defence, she wasn't planning on doing a reunion.
No, she wasn't.
That was something that happened very last minute.
It seems that it's always the case that she's the last one to come on board to a certain extent. Is that a fair assessment, do you think?
Well, not this year because Victoria's still not on board.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I'm still so disappointed. I keep hoping she's just going to appear
Yeah.
anyway. Surprise!
Yeah.
She's not.
No.
How good would it be if she did Out of Your Mind though? With Dane Bowers.
I would lose my mind.
Oh.
You would be out of your mind.
One could say. So let's pretend like this is happening at the right time. So we go straight into new music. Melanie C, Music Spice. She releases 2 songs simultaneously. She's literally giving us everything.
She is, yeah.
So in Europe, she releases the very Mel C ballad, For This Moment.
Time to face what you were hiding from. Don't have to do this on your own. Together we are strong. We don't need anyone. No matter what they say, the time has come. To start a new beginning with all our hopes and all our dreams. And
Which is just Mel C being Mel C.
Yeah.
Europe getting what Europe wants. In the UK, we get her cover version of I Want Candy.
I know a girl who's tough but sweet. She's so fine she can't be beat. Got everything that I desire. Sets the summer sun on fire. I want candy. I want candy.
Interesting choice.
So it features on the soundtrack of a film of the same name. So it's a soundtrack film. I am confused about this whole song. So it's from a soundtrack to a British sex comedy.
Okay.
Called I Want Candy. This is what Wikipedia had to say. A group of film students at Leatherhead University in search of funding for their feature film, The Love Storm, end up having to rewrite and make it into a pornographic film. This leads the boys headfirst into a world of erotica that they did not even know existed, and into the life of actress Candy Five Ways.
Wow.
That's why the title. There are several big stars whose names you might recognise in this movie. Candy Five Ways is played by Carmen Electra.
No way.
Wow,
Oh,
that's what she's doing with herself? Wow.
In 2007.
No pun intended there.
Zoe Slater from EastEnders.
Yeah, she was on. Was that Wonder Woman? She was in some
Bionic Woman.
Yes.
Jimmy Carr makes a cameo.
Does he really? He's in everything.
Yeah, I could not bring myself to watch the film.
Unlike you usually watch such awful films.
This is true, actually. I've been busy doing the research for albums that I pushed back from the first episode into the second episode. I remember at the time this feeling like a very odd move.
Yeah.
It's just a bit bizarre. Like, she's always been the credible one.
Yes.
Yeah.
This felt like a PR exercise, doing a cover for a movie.
It feels like a move I would expect from
Jerry.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Jerry,
Yeah.
or even Emma. I mean, Emma did Pokemon at the beginning of her career. Like,
Yeah.
you know, so I'm kind
Well,
of
at
like...
least that was a song that wasn't
That was a
cover.
tune, by the way.
Yeah, it was
Absolute
actually.
tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have Mel C as a kind of sensible-headed one, and maybe she just thought it would be good publicity.
Well, she's running her own record label at this point, Red Girl
Yeah.
Records.
Yeah.
This is the second album out on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're figuring things out.
Yeah.
They're trying to be commercial. And the Spice Girls were known for doing cheesy covers.
It's
true.
Back in the
It's
day.
true.
The live shows always had, We Are Family and stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
It charted at number 24. Spent 2 weeks on the chart. Obviously, she's got the pipes. She can
Yeah.
sing it. Well, number 24, it would be one of the last times we would see Mel C in the top 40. This is the charting days of the Spice Girls are behind us by 2008.
Yeah.
But that's not to say they don't still create important, worthy music.
Yeah,
that you
of
should
course.
listen to on Spotify.
Yes.
I said it was an odd move. It stays odd. So the video is a little raunchier than we'd usually come to expect from Melanie. Mm-hmm. She's wearing a leather catsuit.
Okay.
Hello, Victoria.
Yeah.
Did she have any gloves on?
No.
She's not doing
Oh,
good, Jerry.
I think she might have these little half gloves, actually.
Love a glove.
She's surrounded by half-naked, oily men in a pink room. Hello, Jerry.
Yeah.
The song did debut at the top of the YouTube video chart.
Interesting.
What year was this?
2008.
Right, YouTube was popular, but how, yeah.
Okay, so I have the numbers.
Okay.
So it debuted at the top of the YouTube video chart with 200,000 views in its first day.
That does give you an idea of, like,
Yeah.
the size of the website at the time. But, I mean, still kind of impressive because it shows that people were like, oh, Mel C's doing something different. We must see this for ourselves.
Yeah, well, guys just wanted to see Mel C in a catsuit.
Yeah, there's maybe that too.
But I think this is a really interesting reflection of how YouTube has grown.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
10 years, 200,000 views in one day. It was the most watched video that day.
Yeah.
In 2018, 10 years later, do you know what video had the biggest...
This is America?
No,
Childish
it was the
Gambino?
year before, I think.
Ah.
Thank You Next. Ariana Grande
Okay, yeah.
was released as the first YouTube premiere, which was really encouraging live streams.
Yeah.
And in its first 24 hours was viewed 55.4 million times.
Wow.
You can't even comprehend that.
Yeah.
Over 8,000 at its premiere launch, so watching as it launched, like live TV,
Yes.
which is 4 times what was good 10 years ago, was done in the same 5 minutes.
I mean, that's just because we can access YouTube on all these different devices now, can't we?
Yeah. So the album follows the next month. This time is the album to a mixed critical reception. People just felt it was a bit meh.
Yeah.
She's teamed up with all the old favourites. So Guy Chambers in there, Kathy Dennis, Steve Max.
yeah.
So yeah. It was praised for vocal maturity.
Yeah.
Manchester Evening News said she sounded like she meant it, unlike her peers at the time.
Ooh.
What's
bit of a
interesting
dig
is
there.
they compare her to Katie Melua and Nora Jones.
I mean, those are fair, nice comparisons to have.
I think that's...
Yeah.
For those to be your peers, you should probably happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It said the songs were bland and forgettable.
No.
It's very Mel C singer-songwritery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe not super adventurous. It reached 57 in the charts. Well, it went on to
Yeah.
sell 300,000 worldwide,
Okay.
which I know her previous effort had sold 1 million worldwide,
Yeah.
but 300,000 is not to be sniffed at.
No.
You make money off that.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think.
and she's on her own label now. So.
Yeah.
So she was cutting out the middleman in a lot of ways. Also, I mean, I think she has quite an international following, doesn't she? I mean, all of them do, but am I right in saying she has quite a big one, especially in like Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is Mel C fans Brazil that have helped me out a lot on YouTube, but there's a Mel B fans Brazil, there's
Yeah,
an Eva B
yeah,
fans.
yeah.
Like, the Brazil fans are really good with YouTube. There must be loopholes in that country or something. So,
Yeah.
thank you to all those fan accounts. They make this job a lot easier. But she is big in Europe.
Yeah.
Without that sounding shady.
No, she is.
She's a big deal in Europe. She's big in Japan. That's the line, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's B-list on Capital.
Yeah.
It's she does, and I think she gets to tour and
Yeah.
do all that. And I think maybe the European audience just aren't as
Mean.
I was trying
They're
to
not
think
as
of a
critical.
word. That it's the British press
Yeah.
is
as always.
notoriously horrible.
Yeah.
And I think although the American press can be awful,
Yeah.
I don't think the Spice Girls get as hard a time.
No.
Because they're not as latched on over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's still a bit of novelty over there.
Well, they
Yeah.
are still talked about. I was
Yeah.
watching some Wendy Williams this morning, and the Mel B, Jerry
Saga.
saga was being talked about.
There you go.
I mean, she got a lot of her facts wrong. So, if Wendy Williams can get them wrong, I know she's high on drugs allegedly and leaving her husband allegedly, but don't come for me when I get facts wrong. I don't have a bureau. I am the bureau. But back to Mel C.
Yeah.
So she releases another single called Carolina.
Just another girl with a dream and a heart. Wanna make a new start with the fire inside of her. She had to go. She couldn't stay around. Everybody let her down. Stole the light and the life and the child inside of her. She's so alone. Running for the dream. Take her far away from everything she knows and the way they make her feel. She leaves today. Never look back, never lose track, already strong. She seemed too much at 17. The past will fade with the future.
She releases it the same week as the Spice Girls reunion.
Why does she do that?
She's always fighting against being a Spice Girl at this point.
It's like an internal conflict that forever happens.
Well, I get the feeling in 2007 she was doing it for the hype. So when we
Right.
talked about that time period, she hadn't seen Mel B for a number of years.
Yeah.
So she's going into it, and I think that period of that reunion was resolution time.
It was, yeah.
So they maybe went into that with a lot of feelings and emotions and business problems
Yeah.
that became resolved during that period.
Yeah.
That meant they could go on and be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fair
that
to
was.
say?
I think that's very fair to say. That's the impression you get when you watch all the documentaries and things like that.
Yeah. And I think at this point, we still have a bit of angry Spice.
Yeah.
Fighting against the industry. I mean,
Yeah.
there was a lot after the Spice Girls broke up where she did have a lot of angst, and she was trying to really shake off some of that image, and there was a lot of conflict.
Especially with her just running her mouth at certain moments. So,
Yeah, definitely.
to my surprise at the time, I remember.
She had a lot to say.
Yes.
Yeah, but she was, you could tell she was obviously very angry, and fair enough, because she was vilified by the press. you know.
Yeah.
what we were talking about before, you know, the lesbian rumours and just generally being horrible to her.
Yeah, but it wasn't just that, it was that she was being mean about our fellow Spice Girls.
Yeah, but that is a product because
a combination of the conflict within the band, how she felt she was bullied, and also her depression, which she is now very open and talking about. So, you know, that I think it was a combination of factors for her.
Yeah. She would release a couple more singles from this album. She releases the title track this time.
I've been practicing all day. Now the words I meant to say are gone. I promised that I wouldn't cry. Told myself I had to try and hold on. The truth, I lied. I hate myself inside. And why? I played the game and paid the price. I never look back, I never cry, never try to wonder why. I'll be on my own and never doubt, never shout or wonder how. I'll never be lonely until this time, this time, this time, this time I will. I've been wide awake all night. There's no sign of sleep inside my mind. The headlight shadows scan my wall. I convince myself you're calling time. The truth, I lied. The girl in me has died. And why? I played the game and paid the price. I never look back, I never cry, never try to wonder why. I'll be on my own and never doubt, never shout or wonder how. I'll never be lonely until this time, this time, this time, this time I will. This time I will be yours completely. This time I'll make sure you don't hate me. This time I know. This time I can. And this time I will. I never look back. I never cry. Never try to wonder why. And I'll be on my own and never doubt, never shout or wonder how. I'll never be lonely until this time, this time, this time. I never look back, I never cry, never try to wonder why. And I'll be on my own and never doubt, never shout or wonder how. I'll never be lonely until this time, this time, this time, this time I will. I've been practicing all day. Now the words I meant to say are gone.
And Understand.
I'm looking at the floor. I'm looking anywhere to try to put my head into a different place. I'm stopping it before I think about the promise to myself that I'm about to break. Fall into daydreams inside these walls. I must be out of my mind, 'cause
all of them come to very little fanfare, really.
Right.
This is arguably, as solo artist, still a bit of the wilderness she is.
Yes.
But in the promo for this period, she also releases her second DVD concert, live at the Hard Rock Cafe. Mm-hmm. She's good live.
She is, yeah.
And it's nice that she's releasing stuff like that. She really kept her fan base and really released stuff that maybe the casual local doesn't know. It's also in 2008 at this point that Melanie becomes the last Spice Girl to get pregnant. We thought it might never happen. All this pressure on women at this point.
Yes, it's
early
like
30s.
you must reproduce. Yeah.
But keep the population down.
Yeah.
And
Simultaneously.
keep working.
Yeah.
And stay thin.
Yeah.
So she only had one child so far, the lovely Scarlet, born in February 2009.
Great name. Possibly my favourite Spice Girl child name. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were ranking
I know.
I'm
Spice Girl
ranking.
child names.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I
Scarlet.
don't know if I have a favourite.
I quite like
good.
Harper.
I was going to say Harper.
Yeah.
But
It ain't Monty, anyway.
I'm going to name my child after the Spice Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Boy or girl.
Just Spice Girls.
I'm going to name it Emma, Melanie, Victoria, Geraldine.
Try and fit in that on a birth certificate.
So by this point, she has been with her long-term partner, Thomas Starr, for 7 years. They never married, which is a shame, because it would have been good if she'd been called Melanie Starr.
Ah, like Northern
Northern
Star.
Oh, that is nice.
Yes, that would have been very nice. Yeah.
I think motherhood had a really profound effect on Melanie C, more than the other girls.
Yeah.
Because I really think it's from this point onwards that you start to see mellow Spice a bit more.
Yeah.
Now she's very humble, she's very chilled. All of that angst that we literally just spoke about
Yeah.
seems to have melted away when she
Yeah.
gave birth.
And how nice, that she's found some, motherhood she's taken to really well. And
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
does talk about the struggles and, the ups
Yeah.
and downs, but you're right, yeah.
She takes a real change in direction here. So she signs on to play Mrs. Johnson in a new production of Willie Russell's Blood Brothers in her West End debut.
Which is quite a left field choice, really. Quite a brave risk.
Well, it seems like quite a natural fit for her. I know, we've said it before, I'm not a musical theatre gay,
Yes.
so forgive me my innocence. But it's a Liverpool play, right?
Yes,
It's deeply
yes,
rooted.
yeah.
I don't think Willie Russell was a Liverpudlian, but
No.
the play is...
The play very much is. And it's high drama.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you actually really, it's more than just singing. You have to be really acting. I think she would have to be part of some really dramatic, argumentative, drama-filled scenes. So
I think her character's more like the Harrow, isn't it? So that's the mum that gives up the children.
Yes.
She watches it all. She
yes.
does a lot of the narration. I have
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah.
I have seen it.
Yeah.
Not with Mel C, and I saw an amateur production. But I was supporting a friend. Well, at the time, she said she had been invited to do musicals and movies in the past, but it just never felt like the right time. But with having a baby, she wanted to stay close to home and have more routine.
Yeah.
So, she said at the time she genuinely contemplated never working again.
Yeah. Well, she was exhausted.
Surprised me.
Yeah. Because, we talked about this before when the Spice Girls first went their separate ways. She just launched herself straight into work. She's a workaholic, right? So suddenly for her to reach motherhood and suddenly be like, oh, maybe I should actually contemplate slowing down.
It was probably the first time she actually stopped. And had full time
Yes,
off.
yeah.
And especially after that period, because she would have done a couple of albums, she would have done the tour,
Yes.
and then fell pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been a whirlwind.
Absolutely.
An emotional whirlwind as well, going back through that whole tour process.
Oh, yeah.
Well, some people would have said it was a risky move, but it was very successful for her. The reviews were very quickly glowing. The London Evening Standard called her the galvanising factor in the show,
Amazing.
saying that they'd never seen a set of reviewers rise so quick to standing ovation.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that would just say, oh, it's just a Spice Girl, but actually... These girls have got so much more to offer.
I suppose it's... that she'd be able to sing it.
Yes.
But can she act and can she deliver the emotion in that song?
Yeah,
Yes.
and all live as well,
Yes.
Night
yeah.
after night.
Yeah.
The Independent said she rightly followed in the footsteps of previous actresses Carole King and Barbara Dixon with her singing abilities and luminous stage presence in a role she was born for.
Oh, that's lovely.
Can't say fairer than that, can you?
Well, you can. She was nominated for an Olivia Award for Best Actress.
There you go.
Only the third actress to be nominated in the role in its 25-year run.
Right.
Obviously, I didn't know that. Wikipedia told me.
But still, very impressive.
She didn't win. She lost out to Samantha Sparrow in Hello, Dolly.
Right.
For those of you that need all the facts. But it's pretty impressive to be nominated. Just, a few months into your first professional acting role. Well, Spice World aside.
I mean, she is the one with the most impressive award kind of nominations. And the Grammy, and then this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I don't think this is shouted about enough.
No.
To be nominated and respected by a panel of industry peers as exceptional in your field.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a badge of honour, right?
Absolutely.
The Grammy probably, I know we've said it a few times, but she probably can't really take credit for that because the Grammy is for Best Dance Remix.
Right,
So
right.
it's Hex Hector's
Yes.
Grammy, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But she sang the hell out of that remix.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a cute moment here at the Olivia Awards. Victoria lent her 2 gowns.
Lovely.
One for performing and one for the ceremony.
Very good. Lent, but not given.
Oh! I've obviously taken that wording from an article specifically.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Generous, but I'm not going to give it away. I have a business to run.
No, I'm kidding. I know that that's just what happens for award shows. Like,
Yeah, Mel C's not going to wear them again.
no, it's true.
Victoria can sell that on at a higher price now.
True enough.
Loving side note, in the programme, she's specifically called Melanie C.
I love that. It's like back to her roots.
And I think this is important because, do you remember there was that whole thing with the papers where she went around saying, I am Melanie C.
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
And she finally gets to do it. But it's surprising that she sticks with Melanie C. Rather than going full Chisholm.
Yeah, she could be forgiven for basically using her real name as like her equity acting name,
Yeah.
and to try and keep it like separate, you know.
Yeah.
In the same way that, for instance, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, he does his music and his acting is very separate.
Yeah.
But she's gone more of the way of Lady Gaga, who for A Star Is Born was Lady Gaga.
Yeah,
she
that's a
didn't.
choice as
She wasn't
well.
Stephanie. So
Yeah.
I suppose it's interesting, like how much of your acting is linked to your music, I guess. And in both Lady Gaga and Mel C's case, there was still a lot of music involved. So I guess it makes sense.
Just sticking with the brand, not. I
Yeah,
guess people
yeah.
could have really turned on it. I think if Lady Gaga had started being like, I'm Stephanie Germanosa,
Yeah.
people would have been like, who?
Yeah.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
Well, Mel C plays the role, Melanie C, sorry, to give her full title, plays the role for a little over a year because she'd already started on new music.
Of course she is.
She's a
workaholic.
Yeah.
Absolute trooper.
So she releases Rock Me in Germany only.
Rock me, baby, rock me, baby, rock me, baby, rock me. Rock me, baby, rock me, baby, into the beat. You make me wanna throw my hands in the air, air, air. Rock me, baby, rock me, take me over. Come on, let's go, everybody, throw your hands in the air, air, air. Waiting for you. Will you do what I want you to? Beautiful fever taking me deeper. I lose myself in myself. I'll meet you there in another world. Hear the crowd, feel the drums. Here we go, come on, come on. Rock me, baby, into the beat. You make me wanna throw my hands in the air, air, air. Rock me, baby, rock me, take me over. Come on, let's go, everybody.
As the official single for FIFA World Cup.
Oh.
Hi, remember me? I'm Sporty Spice.
Yeah, she was
I
like,
love football. But the single proper was September 2011's Think About It.
Right, yeah.
So this saw her make a return to dance pop. So it's a more common territory for a Spice Girl.
Yeah.
Greater focus on sort of radio-friendly beats. Shall we have a little listen?
Let's do. trainer, I see.
In the video.
Yes.
She looks incredible in the video.
Yeah,
She
her tummy
does.
isn't. Oh, she looks.
She's
good.
very toned.
Yes.
I wonder
Yeah.
if this is...
A good moment for her in terms of...
Yeah, I mean, well, we've talked before, and she talks very openly about her control with food and exercise and how she finds it very easy to follow a regime, and she has to be careful with herself around it.
Yeah.
Lord knows I can relate. But yeah, she looks incredible in the video. The song is... I like it. It's guitar-led.
But
a
more
bit of
but
beat.
quite dancey, yeah.
Yeah, so she worked with the Cutfather team to provide a fresh edge to a sort of newly stage developed vocal. I think it's popping.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
Yeah. I would dance to it in a club.
You would dance to anything.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Me and Lauren, if there's a mirror in a club, me and Lauren will
We're
dance for
against
hours
it. Yeah.
looking at just ourselves, not even together.
With hundreds of balloons.
Yeah.
Hundreds of balloons. So lyrically, it discusses doing something you know you shouldn't, but going for it anyway, which Melanie has later said was her approach to returning to music.
Okay.
So fearing the ridicule of the press, but sort of knowing you have to do it because you love it.
And fair
Just
play.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the radar, underrated, guys. I'd be surprised if many casual fans knew this existed. It didn't get a lot of press attention.
Yeah.
I remember I had like a little community radio show at the time, and I played it on there. Probably the only radio it got, poor bugger. I couldn't even really find many reviews for the track.
Right.
So I like to find a review.
Yeah.
Yes.
I found a few like blog post ones which were vaguely positive, but they're probably going to be because
Because
blog
they're
posts were written by
bloggers.
fans.
Yeah, by
yeah.
you.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Mew Mews. Some said her comeback was unnecessary, harsh,
Oh.
but said it sounded all right.
Yeah.
Compared it to Kelly Clarkson, Pink, Avril
Yeah.
Lavigne.
That's where the comparisons I was thinking about when I heard it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it did manage to chart in the UK. Just number 95.
Ooh.
Is that even a chart?
I didn't know it went that high, but yes.
Wow.
You won't be surprised to know she had better success in Europe. Reached number 30 in Switzerland.
Okay.
But it was released the same week as the album, so that could in part explain the success. Why go out and buy the single?
Well,
download and listen
just
to
get the album. Yeah.
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 So, but she was an indie artist at this point, remember? She's on her own label. So
Yeah.
the album isn't dragged away from us, which
Yeah.
is nice. Because that would be the fear, wouldn't it? Like, if she was signed to a record label,
Yeah.
you'd trail out a single and then you'd maybe never get an album.
Never get the album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in control.
Yeah.
Rita.ora. So, Jerry.Halliwell.
Oh.
Mel.B. So, yeah, so when Mel C says she has an album coming out, you're going to get an album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not taunting us for years, threatening.
She doesn't mess about.
Which
She
is
delivers.
explains a lot of why she does have so much music to talk about. She's in
Yeah.
control, and huge respect for that.
Exactly. So the album is released. It's called The Sea. It's got some very dramatic artwork. It's a bit more varied than some of her previous efforts. It's still quite singer-songwritery. She loves a dark album.
Yes.
She never releases a happy little upbeat. This
No.
album is just for barbecues and parties.
Yeah.
But there are sort of radio-friendly bops, along with the sort of stirring ballads. There's a lot more beat-led tracks going through those range of emotions.
I liked it a lot.
I like it. We are fully in the Spotify generation now, so I fully engaged with this album from its launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favourite thing about it is that it lasts an entire gym session. Because I'm so tired of albums that are 30 minutes long. And
Yeah.
then what am I meant to do for my ab track?
Yeah.
Re-listen?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Whistle.
Cue, mate, cue.
Well, you can thank Sporty Spice for always being like. I bet that's number one on the list when
I
you
bet,
make
yeah.
an album. She's like,
Does it last 45 minutes minimum workout?
Yeah.
Lady Gaga's good. She rattles on and on and on. One thing I'll tell you will annoyed me. The first track, conveniently titled The Sea, it's got this really slow, low build-up.
Yeah.
That in your headphones you can't hear for about 30 seconds. And I'd always be constantly thinking just my internet wasn't working. I'd be like, where is this bloody track?
and then before you know it, you're deafened.
Yeah. So one thing did occur to me. When you're making a record yourself, how much does cost come into that. So if you know how much each track cost, if you know how much work and effort goes into track, how does that affect quality? Because you know, if you're like, look, we spent a couple grand on this, we might as well just put it on the album. Whereas a record label will be like, not good enough, not good enough. I know they're very aware of cost as well.
Yeah.
But if you've been deeply involved in the whole thing, how easy is it to step back?
I would say that it might be more difficult when it's your own label and you are not having to answer to maybe as many people as you would be in a normal label, and you do know much more of all of the details of the costs and things like that. I would imagine that it could be much harder to be objective and make decisions about tracks.
Yeah, I think it's either liberating or it conjures up new issues because you're kind of in limbo a bit.
Yeah.
It's a lot of decisions.
Well, the cover for the album was shot in Whitby, Yorkshire.
That's a lovely place.
This is not like Emma going to Rio for an album cover. Regarding the concept of the sea, it has a concept.
Did she go in that sea?
Oh, she stood in the sea.
She's brave.
Yeah.
Whitby sea. I wonder what time of year it was shot.
It's very moodily, but I hope they just toned down the sunshine. I hope it wasn't
Hypothermia by the sea.
Well, Chisholm said about the concept in an interview on YouTube that the album is cohesively experimental, mixing many different genres, styles of music into one unified pop album with electronic undertones, therefore naming it The Sea, which encompasses the many species who inhabit beneath the ocean's surface.
What?
Wow. I love a concept album. Not gonna lie. That's season 12. I just want to do it on concept albums. Okay, it sounds a bit pretentious, but I like that she's thought about it.
Yeah. The many species who inhabit beneath the ocean.
Yeah.
Represent the many different musical styles. As I said earlier, it's also conveniently the title track of the album.
I don't know how much thought is really gone into that.
Well, it got fairly good reviews. OK Magazine, known for their musical reviews, said it was her most ambitious album yet.
Is that just a polite negative?
No.
I read it as a clap. You see it as a slap.
If I said that to you, you'd be like, did she just throw shade at me for giving me a half compliment?
Well, it would be with you because of your tone. This is my most ambitious podcast yet. Also my only. Liverpool Echo said, Mel C proves it's about being real. There's no saccharine sweetness, no femme fatale, just a take me as you see me attitude that shines through. The sea makes for a good listen, whether you're a fan or not.
Hey, yeah.
Fair.
Quite nice. All Music said she'd compete with her younger contemporaries like Katy Perry. Which is...
Well, after the first couple of albums, she's definitely better than Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, I see. Well, if only sales had been so good. The album made it to number 45 on the UK chart.
It's better in 95.
Yeah, well, that was the single.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, better on the digital and independent chart, so 29 and 6 respectively, which isn't to be sniffed at.
Yeah.
And she did get to follow it with a 17-day European tour. I think Mel has really nailed that, that 10,000 fans theory.
Yeah.
If you've got 10,000 fans, you can work forever as long as you keep creating stuff
Yes.
for them.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I believe she's got a lot more than 10,000.
Yes.
But
like
that's the concept that she seems to have really worked well out.
And that's the core that will buy the album every time.
Yeah. And they'll go to the live shows and she knows what to give them.
Yeah. And she puts on a good show. But also, I think, crucially for her, she puts on the kind of show that can take place in more intimate venues. because I think with the other girls, they maybe try a lot more like dance routines, like staging, but with Mel C, there is less of that. It's her and a band just on the mic, and it means she can downsize and it doesn't feel cheap. It feels like intimate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's how she can do a lot more touring as well.
Yeah, I think at this point she is disappointed about commercial success. I think this is just before she goes, oh, fuck it, I don't care.
Yeah.
So in an interview with The Guardian, she says, my last 2 albums didn't perform that well in the UK. Would I be devastated if this one didn't do well? No, I'd live. I'd keep plugging away. All it takes is one song. And this one has a touch of my debut solo album, Northern Star, about it. Which, if you remember, was a slow album climber.
Yes.
So obviously it's her most successful, and it was a big seller.
Yes.
But it didn't really take off until her first number 1, Never Be the Same Again.
Yeah, it was a grower. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just stayed in the charts for ages. It just kept coming back around. And I mean, obviously Northern Star debuted a lot higher, but it was Spice Girls' peak still.
Yeah.
But I think maybe she was hoping she might have a big hit of this, which I think she tried to replicate with the second official single, Weak, which is a big contrast to the dance pop of Think About It. It's a rousing ballad. I love it. We'll play a little clip.
Every single morning I wake up and there's a moment of bliss. Then I remember I get up and I get on with what I chose, but oh how I wish we could go back in time and find the part we lost. Go back to where we started off. Every single morning I wake up and I've been waiting right here for things to get better, and I've been patient trying to figure this out. Everyone else is saying what don't kill you makes you stronger. So why do I feel so weak, so weak?
It's not a banger.
I love it.
It's not bad. It really reminds me of like J-Lo early 2000s, that kind of Ain't It Funny vibe.
Really? I don't hear that.
I can hear a tiny bit of what you mean, like in the backing track, and there's certain lines that maybe sound a bit like that song. But I think I like it's a kind of atmospheric...
Yeah, that sort of pulsating.
Yeah,
beat.
pulsating, kind of a bit sexy, moody. I like it.
I like a dramatic ballad though. And at this time I just joined the circus, so I was spending a lot of time like stretching and having to really work on stuff so I could be really like moody in the gym. It was good. This is what really gets me about this song. I had always assumed the song and actually the album was about her breakup from Thomas Starr, the father of her daughter.
Yeah.
But actually that didn't happen until the following year. I looked at this quite intensely to be sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember at the time thinking, oh, this is definitely about their breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perhaps I got the album a bit later than I thought.
You're right.
Because I've checked dates and I've checked interviews and they seem to be together. Apologies if I'm wrong.
Right.
This is a very heavy album.
Yeah.
For somebody who's...
And very
Still
much
happy.
describing the end of a relationship.
Yeah.
Which, like you say, is
Yeah.
odd for someone in a happy relationship.
But then maybe it wasn't happy for a long time.
Well, it's
Maybe.
definitely more Adele than Pharrell.
Yes.
I think if I heard this album, I'd be like, oh, is everything alright, babe?
Maybe that's why they broke up though.
He heard the album, he was like, excuse me?
I'm taking the warning signs.
Listen to some of these lyrics. So Weak, which we just listened to. Every single morning I wake up and there's a moment of bliss. Then I remember.
Jerry left the bag.
No, it's not about that. You know, but there's other songs on it. The album, it's very heavy, it's quite dark. I mean, there's a song called When the Conflict Calls in This Tug of War, Will You Be My Strength or Would You Be My Enemy? If I lose my way on this battleground, will you reach for me or would you be my enemy?
Mel B. She didn't want to go back on tour.
Does rhyme with enemy. Would you be my Melanie?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe maybe I'm reading way too much into this. I mean, I don't know how no one picked up on it at the time.
Yeah.
It's not explicitly talking about love, though, is it?
I guess not.
It's a lot. I've noticed this a lot in her songs. It's very like ambiguous. You know, like in the lyrics, it's always like she deliberately kind of is maybe a little less obvious than, say, Jerry's lyrics. No offence, Jerry.
Oh,
but
she doesn't want to leave you guessing.
Could also be about our ex-record company too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's round off the album before we talk about the breakup, as time-wise. Week didn't. It wasn't the big kick promo-wise she was hoping for. I mean, it made it onto Radio 2's A-list, which helped it reach the top 60 most played songs on UK radio.
Okay.
I didn't know we had a UK radio chart, but...
We do, apparently.
It just didn't sell enough to make the top 200 of the singles chart. Shame on you, listeners.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair, our listeners proactively follow the Spice Girls, so let's not blame them.
And do you have a copy of this single?
I've Spotified, yes. my paid Spotify subscription, I was rinsing it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We should have got half a pence from that.
Half a pence more than I'm getting from Spotify.
Hint.
It did get to number 1 on Greek iTunes.
Love it.
Let's go to Mykonos, Melanie. I'll take you. She would release one more single from the album, in Europe only. A place they like her.
Yeah.
She's taking the hint
I
now.
wonder if we get many European listeners.
I wonder.
You can check the countries on the stats.
I'll have a look.
Well, if you're a European Pod of the Hops fan, please at us and tell us where you're from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you run an Airbnb...
And we don't want a Brexit, just saying.
Yeah, we're very anti-Brexit.
Yeah. We love you, Europe. We miss you already.
She would release one more single, Let There Be Love.
I want it to be this. Can you feel the love? Tell me now. So I know why it makes you feel alive, why it hurts to say goodbye, why you'll never ever lose what is meant to be with you. So let there be love. So let there be love. Sometimes you can live a whole life in just a single day. Let the minutes flow when you hear another heartbeat humming.
Which is an English language cover of a German ballad, Liebe ist alles.
And also an Oasis track name.
Oh, that's true. But
Yeah.
not a cover of Oasis.
I'm guessing they weren't covering a German ballad.
No.
I like that she's done a German ballad. I think maybe she went, look, Jerry's doing Spanish. Victoria did French that one time.
Yes.
German.
German.
I'm
That's
big
it.
in Germany.
Yeah.
I'm going to cover it.
Emma did Brazil.
Oh,
That's right.
That's where Mel's gone wrong. Melanie B. She's never done a foreign language that I know of.
Oh, well, she wandered around Morocco in that video of that
Oh,
one time.
that one time she wandered around.
You've got all the continents
Oh
covered.
yeah. Tick, 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 tick. Well, it was well received by critics and fans, but failed to grab the attention of the general record buying public. I'm not sure why.
But you know, if it's your own record company as well, you must have limited resources in terms of publicising it.
Yeah, it's a good record. She makes good records. The sales just don't seem to match it, I guess.
Yeah.
For me, it's a huge shame because I
Yeah.
feel like I genuinely feel she deserves more attention.
Yeah.
I suppose what's good now in this sort of streaming era
Yeah.
is albums can get a second chance.
Yes.
If you think of Mariah Carey's Glitter,
Yeah.
That-
Justice for Glitter.
went to number 1 on iTunes, so maybe it was a huge blow to her in 2011, 2012. But now maybe it's nice and people probably do come up to her and compliment her on tracks from it and still
Yeah.
enjoy it, and maybe that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you yourself, when you met Mel C, told her you'd listen to the new
I
music.
did.
So there you go.
I know, I'm such a butt lick.
Yeah.
I'm always, I have listened to the latest stuff as well, thank you.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think you could be forgiven. You meet Mel C, you are going to lick the ass of that woman.
I really did want
It's
to
not
not.
like that Jerry, the Jerry episode where she's, you know, the the shop assistant says to her, I've listened to all your albums, but you're solo.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I really wanted to not go up to Mel C because I wanted her to be able to get on with her life, but I couldn't help it, man.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Were other people going up to her or not at all?
Oh, my agent who I was with, she couldn't be held back. I was hoping she'd hold me back, but Charlotte was running. Yeah, no. Well, Charlotte's done it twice. She also met her when she was DJing in London.
I see.
This is by the by, but anyway.
Yeah.
So, let's go back to the breakup. So, she breaks up with Tom Starr, who she'd been with for a long time, the
That's
father of her
sad.
child. She told the Evening Standard in 2016 it was the most catastrophic thing she experienced. So, she's talked openly before about this period saw a turn of her depression.
Yeah.
A return to that, which is, I think, is important to acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know, she said she would binge eat and stay up all night crying and sit alone in her house for days.
Yeah.
She says sometimes you can do all the right things, but they just don't work enough.
No.
And it's refreshing to hear someone who's
Yeah.
accomplished recognise that these things do recur and the issues like this are ongoing.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah.
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 And I think she's been really good about talking about her problems, and that can't be an easy thing to do in the public eye.
No.
Especially when you have a history of not being supported by the British
Yeah.
press.
Yes.
She also talks about the fear of postnatal depression. She said she was really scared about it during her pregnancy.
Yeah.
And I think that is not something that's talked about.
No, not at
No.
all. Because I listened to her when she was on Fern Cotton's A Happy Place, which is great, and she talks in length about her mental health journey and is very open about things, and that's great.
And I think this goes a long way to explaining why she's reluctant with Spice Girl reunions.
Yes.
So I think people need to give her a bit more credit when she says she's not going back. I know she's in it now,
Yeah.
but she must have a big fear about getting dragged back into that machine and
Yeah.
the carnage that ensues.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a single mum.
As she is now.
Yeah.
Yes.
There were rumours at the time, sort of hints of infidelity, problems like that, but there was nothing with any real weight
As in
or
him
substance.
being in...
Both ways. Like, it just was press rumours.
Yeah.
And nothing, that's why I didn't say anything, because there's nothing...
substantial.
She's certainly never badmouthed him
No.
in the press, or she's never really talked about him that much since. She's very good at deflecting in that, and she talks about the
Yes.
situation and how it was hard.
Yeah.
And I think she's trying very hard to be respectful
Yeah.
as a mother, knowing that her daughter will read these things about her dad.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So she's not putting them out there to be seen.
Unlike one other Spice Girl.
Oh, yeah. Good, we'll get to that. There were rumblings that she'd been working too hard and neglecting her womanly duties.
Well, of course, the
You
tabloids
can't have
will
it
say
all,
that.
eh?
No.
Well, apparently she was working very hard during that time. I mean, she was in a musical. She wasn't going out much. She was even trying not to talk too much to protect her vocal cords.
Right, yeah.
What a horrible thing to turn on someone and say.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're damned
that's
if you
the
do,
reason.
you're damned
Yeah.
if you don't.
Well, exactly, because if she just stayed in the house and just be at-home mum, they'd have been slagging her off for that as well, so, yeah.
But you know what else I think as well? Like, they were together for 10 years.
Yeah.
They had a child together. I'd call that a successful relationship.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's come to an end, and I don't know the ending of how that was.
Yeah.
I think as a society, we're always like, oh, if a relationship is over, it was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or we want to vilify one part of the couple.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, I know people who've been in marriages and they've ended, and actually that marriage was the right thing for that person at that time.
Yeah.
And people change and people grow in different
Consciously
directions.
uncoupling.
Exactly.
Yeah, consciously uncoupling. Oh, we ridicule that phrase, but maybe it is quite good.
But in some ways, the actual thought behind it is quite nice.
Yeah, I agree, actually.
It had the right sentiment.
Well, she said being single was a great chance to reconnect with her girlfriends and have fun.
Good for
And
her.
that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Once you get out the dick sand...
You're obsessed with these dick phrases.
Well, you're obsessed. No, we won't say that. She is very busy at this time. So after the album and its tour wrapped, she signed on for Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar
Wow.
in the role of Mary Magdalene.
I remember being really excited about this when I heard about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not a musical theatre gay, so I didn't know that much about it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'd heard of this Jesus guy.
He's relatively famous.
Yeah. Though, I mean, what is interesting about Jesus Christ Superstar as a show is that it's, you know, it's for singers. It's very much a rock music musical. And so it means that you get kind of interesting castings.
Well, yes, definitely. Yeah. She is cast in it alongside Chris Moyles and Tim Minchin.
Yes, I love Tim Minchin. He's
not
amazing.
One of those, other than obviously Melanie C, would I be like, oh great, the best singer though?
No, it's more, I suppose it's about, you can sing, but you're also good like a motor.
They want like character?
Yeah, they want character, yeah.
Okay. Well, before she does this, there is a TV talent contest to find the next Jesus. I know I'm not a musical theatre gay, but I am definitely a musical theatre TV talent show, Andrew Lloyd Webber series gay.
Yes.
I live for these. And there hasn't been one for so long.
Oh, they need to come back.
Oh, I know why it is. Well, they were on BBC.
Oh, and then The Voice took over, is that why?
Partly that, but partly it was seen as, you know, the BBC always has to be unbiased.
Oh, right.
And it was seen as promoting Andrew Lloyd Webber musicals. Because they only ever did it with Andrew Lloyd Webber and with his musicals, and it led to, so there was a conflict of interest.
Sky would happily snap it up.
Well, ITV did take it, and the Jesus one was on ITV.
Right.
They didn't really nail it. My favourite one was Dorothy.
Oh, yes.
When they were searching for a Dorothy.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was so good. I used to go around and watch it at this guy's house who I thought was really into me. But there was a chair bed divide. Like, I was always sat in the chair and he was sat in the bed. I think I was a bit creepy at that time. I'll tell you off air some of the creepy things I did.
Oh, God.
Well,
but they also had a Maria, Oliver and Nancy.
I worked with a contestant from the Maria one in the musical. I'm not going to drop names.
Oh,
but
okay.
she was.
I would.
But she was fun to.
I appreciate the publicity. It's not.
No, she's like no. Like I want to say is that all these people in these shows are really like a lot of them now work in the industry. You know, they didn't just come off the street. A lot of them were talented to begin with.
Well, we know that already.
Yeah. So I think a lot of
and a lot of them have gone on to
exactly
a lot of big names. Well, not big, but a lot of relatively high-profile people are from these. Lee Mead, for instance, was on Joseph.
Yeah.
That's Stephanie, who's on Hollyoaks. Mm-hmm. She had the big thing with the Big Brother. She was from this originally.
Right.
She was on Dorothy.
Yeah.
Of course, I won't remember. Jodie Prenger.
Mm-hmm. Oh, she's great. Yeah.
But Melanie C was a judge. So she was a judge alongside Dawn French, Jason Donovan, and of course Andrew Lloyd Webber himself.
That's quite a lineup, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. I just watched most of it. There was notable controversy. Jonathan Ansell, a name you might not remember, but he was the tenor of the X Factor group G4.
I remember them.
They had a number of albums. He made it to the boot camp stage, but failed to progress to live finals.
Oh.
Ouch.
Can't have it all.
But the eventual winner was Ben Foster. I did remember thinking he was really good. I remember Melanie really liked him. She was really on his side. Probably swayed my opinion, to be fair, didn't it?
Yeah.
Also slight controversy, I suppose, that Melanie C did this, given everything she said before about TV talent shows.
I know, right? Yeah. Oh well. I mean, she has the right to change her mind, I suppose. And
she has really mellowed out. And she's a different girl.
Yeah.
I think you do get the sense that she's nowadays trying to be putting out a lot more positive energy into the world.
Yeah.
Rather than being cynical.
That's true. I really enjoyed this. I didn't get to enjoy it as much as I would have liked because it was one of those programmes that was on every night.
Yeah.
By the time it came to the finals and the semis, I can't. ITV do that a lot. Like Britain's Got Talent's like that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love Island.
Oh, I haven't got time.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
Yeah. And I can't. And if you miss one or two, you're out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then you have to and then it just becomes. It's really for a generation of people who have their TV on like at all times and it's always on in the background, I suppose. But increasingly, I feel like people aren't like that, you know? So...
And millennials never have any leisure time.
Yes,
we are too busy working.
Exactly.
Me and Karen literally turned around earlier and were like, oh, we're just having leisure time, when actually the two of us have been sat working, doing emails for 2 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've been editing the podcast.
Yeah.
So, ITV, if you're listening, please put everything's on weekly, so I can catch up.
Yes. We'd even take like one, during the
couple of
weekdays
days.
and then like at the weekends. That would
Yeah,
work.
that could work for me. If you could just consult my schedule. Also, I'll happily be a judge.
With all your musical theatre experience.
I'm really good with Wikipedia. So following the show, they enter a national arena tour of Jesus Christ Superstar, which is unusual as it was obviously in theatres previously. But Andrew Lloyd Webber has said, look, this is a rock concert. They'd always envisioned it being played to sort of big arenas, and that he always felt it was shoehorned into proscenium stages.
Yeah.
The reviews were divisive. The Guardian did not love it.
That's a shame.
They gave it a 1-star review.
Oof.
Particularly the arena format.
Was that Len Gardner who wrote that?
I'm not sure who wrote it, but they suggested perhaps Andrew Lloyd Webber should have been crucified as opposed to the titular character.
Wow. That is brutal.
They really didn't like it.
Okay, fair enough.
They said Mel C is a strangely laid-back Mary of Magdalene, relaxed to the point of blankness.
Oh.
Aww.
That's unfortunate. I mean,
The
I was
la-
watching
they-
it and enjoying it. I
Yeah,
have
they
to
said
say.
the large cast crowd scenes appear to have been directed on the premise that if Jesus is coming, it's best to look busy.
Oh dear.
The Telegraph loved it. They said Melanie Chisholm was a lovely, relaxed Mary Magdalene, to the point of blankness, and proves again that she was too good for the Spice Girls. Too good.
No.
Too good.
No,
There is
no,
no
no.
such a thing.
No.
She did.
Yeah, that's a backhanded compliment from them, isn't it, really?
Sounds like something you'd say, Karen.
Oh.
Well, she did win a What's On Stage award for Best Musical Actress.
Very good.
Yeah, and she was obviously good enough to be hired for the Australian tour as well, which came with a live DVD. But she did not do the North American tour. She's replaced, presumably, I don't know whether she was asked, I don't know whether she was asked or she decided not to do it.
Yeah.
But she is replaced with a well-known girl band alumni. Do you know whom it is?
Don't say Kerry Katona.
That's a no-no.
I think that's fair to say no. Is it... Oh, God. Our name is on the tip of my tongue. The one who's in Cats as well.
Nicole Scherzinger.
Yeah, that's...
It is not.
That's a good
but
guess.
that is a very good guess.
Heidi Range.
No, this is an American.
Oh, okay.
Kelly Clarkson? No.
Not girl band alumni. But
Oh, sorry. Girl band, sorry.
How long do I let
Kelly Rowland?
Oh! Michelle Williams.
Oh! I was so close!
So close.
was
Yeah,
so close.
So close. I'll give you a point for that.
Thank you.
Because we're not collecting points, so it doesn't matter. Well done.
Justice for Michelle.
Justice for Michelle. Well, you forget. People forget.
Yeah.
But obviously this period where she's done Blood Brothers and she's done Jesus Christ Superstar obviously is very inspiring for Melanie C. Because for her 6th studio album, that's right, 6, she creates the aptly titled Stages, which is a collection of emotional musical and film covers. Which obviously I know all of them because I'm such a musical theatre girl. It's all happening at the same time, so
Yeah.
this is 2012. This is a big year for Melanie.
Yeah.
I mean, in July, she does Superstar Airs, along with the first single, I Don't Know How to Love Him, which she performs at the live final, or on one of the earlier stages. I didn't get to watch it ITV, you put it all on in a week. In August, they do the Olympic performance.
Yeah.
September, the album is released, which is the same month the tour began for Jesus Christ Superstar. And then in the December, the FIFA Forever musical launches.
Wow. Yeah, so she is packing it in. It's almost like the heyday, you know? She's got back to the crazy schedule, overlapping.
After only a few years ago, being like, I might never work again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always when you take yourself off the market, you're suddenly in demand.
Yeah, exactly. I like this idea of this album. She still wanted to record, but she was like, I'm just going to do a fun compilation.
10,000 fans theory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is where I will break stereotype and say I don't love an album of covers. especially musicals.
Okay.
It's
for a certain audience, isn't it? It's not going to suit.
Is that going to be for Mel C fans though? You know, or 10,000?
Depends how many of them are musical gays.
I wonder what the Venn diagram is.
I could just about stomach Alexandra Burke doing Whitney in The Bodyguard when that album came out.
Right.
Just
There's been so many like that.
Yeah, but there's obviously a market for it.
Yeah.
Mother's Day market. Almost September is maybe a Christmas present market.
I mean, I'm into it, to be honest. Yeah.
I think the thing is, if you're an artist on your own label, you don't have to be defined by a genre in that way.
Yeah.
So you can be between 2 musical theatre tours, release an album cover, and then that's a really clever piece of tour merch.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like
yes.
if you know that you're going around doing Jesus Christ Superstar,
yeah,
I'm sure Scarlet can sit at the front with a stool selling the Stages album.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think it would be dumb not to do something like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
it makes sense.
The audience going to see you at that are obviously like musical theatre, so they probably like the songs.
Yes.
I would imagine they go and
yeah,
buy it, listen to it. Now they're invested in Melanie C music.
It's a smart move, really.
Yeah, I think so. Because you don't even have to get these things printed anymore.
No,
like, you can just do digital only releases.
Yeah.
Which I think the singles were. Following this podcast, we will be releasing an album of Spice Girls covers.
A cappella
solo singles as a digital only release. Just for merch. Anyway, this album, Melanie said they are show tunes that have been important to her at different stages in her life.
Hence the title.
Stages. Very clever. Is it a concept album?
I'm a loose one, I guess.
So the first single already referenced was I Don't Know How to Love Him.
Don't know how to love him, what to do, how to move him. I've been changed, yes, really changed. In these past few days, when I've seen myself, I seem like someone else.
Which, as everyone knows, is from the musical... Oh! It's from Jesus Christ Superstar, isn't it? Yes. I knew that. And it's right in front of me, but I couldn't read my writing. So she sang it on the live
So you couldn't read your text. Your typed text in Microsoft Word.
I'd written it in a code. Leave me alone. So she sang it on the live final, accompanied by Andrew Lloyd Webber on the piano. I mean, as much as promoting the album, this is really about promoting the Andrew Lloyd Webber tour, isn't it, as well?
Yeah, it is, you know, teaming it up.
Adelaide Entertainment Centre stated, Melanie C absolutely blitzes her big number, I Don't Know How to Love Him, bringing a more rock edge to the bridge before hitting the final big notes right out of the arena.
Very good. Good girl.
As was pointing out to me on Twitter, actually, it's not an official single, it's a preview single.
Oh.
So it doesn't necessarily count for chart positions.
I see.
But it did reach number 20 on the UK indie charts, so...
Sorry.
I'm confused, but Twitter knows more than me. So,
who are you?
Thank you for correcting me. I don't mind being corrected. I can say when I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Unlike certain Spice Girls. Regardless, the album comes out in September. So the second release from the album, we've already trailered, is a little more special. It's a duet from the musical Chess. Mm-hmm. My favourite. God damn you, Alexandra Burke. It's I Know Him So Well, with someone she knows very well, a certain Miss Emma Bunton.
And that is beautiful. It's lovely to me that they're doing a duet together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is, and it's nice to have the two
best voices,
second and third best vocalists harmonising together.
first and second.
Yeah, do. Their voices work really lovely together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely story that Melanie was putting together. She wanted to do the track, and she knew she had to duet it.
Yeah.
And she's done a lot of good duets in the past.
And who with?
Well, she thought, will I ring Pamela Anderson? As obviously our voices are
Who
so
jumped
similar.
in my grave?
And she calls Emma Bunton. And it's really lovely, and that means that we get to see them going around doing interviews and performing together and
Chatting on Loose Women.
They're the
all
cutest.
that. They
They're
are
the cutest
cute.
at the time. It's an odd choice of song in a way, given that just 1 year earlier it had been the comic relief single with the Peter Kay character Geraldine McQueen singing it with Susan Boyle.
Oh, yes.
Do you remember this?
I was never a Peter Kay fan.
Yeah.
But of all the duets to choose, they could have chosen Wicked. They could have chosen, you know.
Well, Mel C says it was, obviously all of these songs Mel C to a certain stage in that time.
Yeah.
That one does.
So it's a lot of older musicals, I guess. I think.
Yeah.
As overall,
Yeah.
not newer
Well,
stuff.
1985.
Okay, yeah.
So the song was originally sung by Elaine Page and Barbara Dixon.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wikipedia. And it spent 4 weeks at number 1 on the UK chart in 1985. So it's the biggest selling hit by a female duo in the UK.
Oh, there you
Even
go.
bigger than Never Be the Same Again.
Wow.
Pop quiz. Mm-hmm. So that's the biggest selling hit by a female duo in the UK. Do you know the biggest US hit from a female duo in America?
Is it Brandy and is it The Boy Is Mine?
Yes.
Brandy and Monica?
It is! I didn't know you'd get straight to that. I had clues ready.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well done. I'm really impressed.
Did you read that or just...
No.
No, it's just I know it's when I think female duo, and I listen to that song to this day.
Oh.
It's an absolute
it's
banger.
it's a tune.
I am a huge Brandy fan.
Yeah.
I went
You went to see her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she toured in the UK maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I went with our friend Laura. We were the only 2 white people there. And at first, I'd gone, it's on that bit. But so when we first got there, people were looking at us a bit like, you're in the wrong place. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Please don't hate me. I was doing this out of love. I tried to braid my hair into plait. I looked an absolute tit. But people were looking at me like, what is this guy doing here? And then when she started, she does a few hits, and then she starts getting into the lesser knowns.
Yeah.
And as the concert progressed, I was the only one that knew every line and every lyric and every lick. So by the end, people were like, who is that? And I got brought into people's circles. Oh, She's my everything. Yeah. Spent 13 weeks at the top of the charts. One of only 7 singles in history to do so.
Wow.
So yeah. But back to a less successful female duo. Did not chart so favourably. Reached 153 in the UK.
Even Loose Women couldn't
Pitch it that high. But we did get a lovely video of the two meeting at piano and goofing around and...
But even, that video wouldn't suggest they were really looking for a big chart position.
I think they were just enjoying life.
Yeah.
This is 2012. They're so busy. They've got the Olympics.
Yeah.
And when you see the interview clips, they just seem like they're buzzing.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do something like this, why not do it with someone that you really like spending time with?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't do this podcast with you guys for your intellect.
Yeah, I think you were saying, Erin, that those two's, their friendship is the most consistent within the band, isn't it? Really. It seems the most solid.
They seem to always get on the most and...
They complement each other well, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And they're always, hugging and... You just see a genuine attraction between the two of them.
Yeah.
They really gravitate towards each other.
Yeah.
I think it's probably Emma. I don't think there's any of the girls she doesn't get on with.
No, that's true.
She's probably had the least rows.
Yes.
She's probably a bit of a buffer, between some of the other girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used to say that. Well, she used to say that. But what's really cute is because they're working together and doing promo, they do the Christmas lights switch on in
Aww.
Oxford Street, and they sing Two Become One together.
That's
Wow,
lovely.
God, and you think the last time he did that, 96 would it have been?
Yeah, 96 or 97, isn't it? Yeah.
Mm.
And this is where I think Spice Girls reunions are at their best. It's just when they're working together harmoniously. And I know, like, we literally said in the last episode, or one of the earlier episodes, oh, Jerry singing Wannabe, it's sacrilegious, it's meant to be about them together.
Yeah.
And now I'm praising
Yeah.
these two for singing Two Become One. But when they do it, it feels right. They're not changing the lyrics, and they're still together, and they're working together.
There's a genuine chemistry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have got more of this if Jerry had stuck around for that original third album concept. You know, people going off in pairs and doing things and doing their own stuff.
Yeah.
We'll never know, I suppose.
No.
We'll never know. The album also sort of dithered in terms of chart stages. It topped the iTunes chart for a minute. But you see that a lot with strong fan bases now, don't you?
Yeah.
Which is good. Like, it's an indicator of a really strong fan base.
Yes. They want it straight away, so they get
Yeah.
it at the moment it launches.
Yeah, and it went to number 50 for 1 week on the official charts. But, like, as I said, I don't think she would have been looking for chart performance with this. I think
No.
it was merch.
Yeah.
Which, good.
Yeah.
It's a Spice. Record label Spice.
Yeah.
Well done.
Exactly.
So that sort of wraps up a pretty intense 2012. Although we do get her featuring the Justice Collective, the charity single He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, which was a collaboration of musicians including Robbie Williams, Paul McCartney, Bethany Knight, many others. It was raising money for various charities associated with the Hillsborough disaster,
Oh yeah.
which obviously still resonates
Yeah.
very much so in the last year.
With her being a Liverpudlian.
Exactly,
Yes.
yeah. This was a very successful venture. It went to Christmas #1 in 2012, beating out the X Factor contestants that year. Yeah. Which is another Christmas #1 for Mel.
Very good.
She did come into some hot water later on, actually, regarding the Hillsborough disaster.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the city of Liverpool is very different from a lot of other cities in the sense of community. I gig in Liverpool. It's one of my favourite places to get. I was there this week at Hot Water.
Yeah.
They really support their own. Like Liverpool, if you're Liverpudlian and you're giving something a go, Liverpool are behind you. Like they're such a warm, welcoming city.
Yes.
And they really compile together around things, and they're huge about the arts because they've had so many famous artists, you know, like the Beatles obviously, but loads of others, and they've managed to actually do a really powerful campaign around refusing to buy, stock or sell the Sun.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Since, you know, that incident.
Yes.
Because the Sun wrote some really disparaging articles about the supporters
And the victims and
and the family, and it was horrific.
Yes.
I've
got a lot of respect for Liverpool, I would say. It's the English city that reminds me the most of Glasgow.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of similarities.
I've got a lot of time for Liverpool, actually. But while she was promoting one of her later albums, Think Version of Me, she did some work with the Sun, and I think she was pictured touring on a big red Sun bus.
Oh.
And unfortunately, it was at a similar time to one of the court trials around the police cover-up and the lies around that incident, so it's sort of... It didn't look good.
No.
But that is later on. 2012. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
2013, so she's still on tour with the Jesus Christ Superstar. So that's when she does the American stuff. Mm-hmm. She's doing that through 2013. Racking up the stamps on little Scarlet's passport, isn't she?
Yeah.
She makes a really odd cameo here in a British comedy film called Play Hard.
All right.
I could find very little about this film. It sounds as legit as the Emma Bunton Bollywood appearance. We were like, did that really happen?
Yeah. Was it a fever dream we all just had?
Yeah. Apparently it's by some guy called Ron Pasillo, who wrote the movie, stars in the movie, directs the movie.
Right.
Okay.
I found a trailer and I found a tagline. When it comes to business, nothing gets in the way.
All right.
Could have been written by Victoria.
Yeah.
I don't understand how this happened. I'm guessing she owed him money or something.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't sound like a big deal, unless I'm just ignorant. Maybe he's musical theatre, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because she just seems way above it at this point. But
Yeah.
IMDb says it's legit, says she's in it, so
Oh, okay.
I can't
She did
question.
she did a bit of a Jerry, bit of a Jerry random cameo.
Yeah,
something.
I'll do it.
I'll do it.
If you've seen it, please let us know what you thought of it,
Yeah.
because I ain't digging it out. We get a couple of musical moments in 2013 as well. So in the summer, she releases a sexy duet with X Factor alumni Matt Cardle
Oh, wow.
called Loving You.
Where is he now?
Waiting for Mel C to call back.
Yeah.
Well, they'd met at the Isle of Wight Festival. She said he was looking for a great voice.
Which
BB
of course
obviously was
she
unavailable.
has. Yeah.
Well, the video gets quite steamy. So it's a similar sort of premise to what we've seen before. They're both seen in separate rooms of a house, missing each other.
Baywatch poster on the wall.
But then in the final shots, we get a steamy kiss.
Ooh.
Oh, that's quite unlike her.
We'll play a bit, but we don't need to listen. Well, there were a lot of rumours flying around that they might be dating. Especially because they go on a promotional trip for the record. So they go to Germany and Poland.
Of course they do.
Well, I think that's a snatch. Well done, Mel. I mean, she was single, and it's fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Be single and make her single.
Yeah.
And get a snog on the way.
Yeah, Matt Carter was kind of hot in that sort of...
Yeah, kind of rough, kind of
Yeah.
boy way.
If I was single... Well, I am single. Not hiding some
Who are you
secrets.
dating?
Got back with the ex. No, I didn't. God, that was awkward.
Editing that out.
We'll see. Well, maybe he'll call.
Gee, money.
Don't go ahead with that. Well, relationships helped her chart. She managed to get to number 14.
That's
Which-
better than a previous attempt.
Well, that's her
Yeah.
highest chart position in 8 years. And particularly impressive for two artists on independent labels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was only released as digital downloads as well.
Yeah.
So, very successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. Then at the end of the year, we get two of my faves of Mel C performances. I think she's on a really good run at this point.
Yeah.
So in the December, she releases her first live album called Live from Shepherd's Bush. I know she's done like DVDs before, but this is
Yes.
the first album. I mean, digital only, but God bless, I pay for my Spotify.
Yeah.
I think she'd been doing some work as well with Jules Holland around this time. I think she'd done a number
Nice.
of guest
Yeah.
performances
Yeah.
on his live tours.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time she was quite involved in that. So it's just a short little 7-tracker.
Yeah.
I recommend. It's mostly singles and a couple of the more recent album tracks. But it was nice if you didn't care for stages.
Yeah.
She's given you this. I didn't really care for stages.
Yeah.
So she gave
She's
me a little...
Give you the
filler.
other aspect of her.
Yeah.
Gives
There's
you
a
everything.
great mix. There's a great mix of Turn to You, which I really liked.
True.
And it actually made me like Next Best Superstar, which was the one about TV talent shows.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
yeah.
she's still winning that out.
Yeah. I would like to say that I bet that, see, performing regularly in theatre probably trained her voice to be even better than it was already, because
Yeah.
you have to really do some strenuous exercises in order to be able to keep your vocal cords good for that.
And then you're
So,
singing different genres.
and
as
different
well.
genres too. So I think, it makes sense that she went on to release some live stuff, to be like, hey man, like I'm in a really powerful place with my voice. Yeah.
Well, this really plays into the next thing that she does then, and the moment I really fell in love with her. She does a show called Sporty Turns 40. Can you guess what it's about?
Incredible.
So, it's Melanie turns 40 in the January, and to celebrate, she throws a big concert party at the Shepherd's Bush Empire, I think, singing all her hits with a few exciting guests. It is in full on YouTube.
Amazing.
Thank you, Mel C fans Brazil.
It's great. We watched it together.
Yeah, she looks incredible. She has her hair in a ponytail. She's wearing a black leather vest jacket thing.
Like a body warmer.
Yeah, you didn't care for it.
Nah.
But she's glowing and buzzing.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
really
Doesn't
having
look
fun.
40.
Yeah. I mean, obviously she sounds great.
Yeah.
Who says she sounds 40?
No.
She really sounds 40. But it's a star-studded crowd. if your ideas of stars is 90s pop stars, which mine is.
Yes. Yeah.
She does a duet with Nicole Appleton.
Fantastic.
Emma comes on and they sing Two Become One.
Yes.
So good.
Yeah, one of the guys from Star Sailor's on it.
Nice.
It's great time on just in the background,
Yeah.
like, just if you're talking or at a dinner party or if your mum's over and you don't want to chat. Yeah, it's really good. Oh, okay. And this is a nice little bit of business. So this also happens this year. Do you know which Little Mix video she makes an appearance in?
She worked on a track with them, right?
She didn't work on a track, she appears in the video.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be one of their first ones. So...
It's not first album.
Oh. Okay, in that case, I won't know. Sorry.
Oh.
Don't know that much about Little Mix. I'm old.
Well, we're on album number 5, so you better word up. She appears in Word Up, which is their Children in Need charity single.
Right.
She turns up for their version of Word Up. She didn't turn up for Mel B's.
Yeah, I was going to say, we mentioned this before in the Mel B episode, didn't we? Yeah, that's why I'm
Little
remembering
Mix
it. Yeah.
Cover it. Which is a nice gesture, actually. It's like she's passing on the torch to the next girl band. And also they did their Children in Need single as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, Little Mix is charted a little better than Headlines.
Yep.
But at the time, she was very complimentary about the girls. I mean, who isn't? Little Mix are great.
Yes.
But she would later get quoted saying she had banned her daughter from watching the girls in case she saw inappropriate content.
Well, I suppose she's showing Scarlet all of their music videos, Spice Girls ones.
Well,
yeah.
So this is what she said. This is her quote. So she says, they are getting more provocative. To me, they were kind of the closest things to the Spice Girls we've seen. 100% agreed.
Yeah.
They're all gorgeous and great singers, but they weren't sexy, and it's got more and more that way. I love them, but I just say, stay you. All young women want to look sexy and hot, so I understand it's hard. But I think it's such a shame. We live in a narcissistic age. It's 100% worse than when I was in the Spice Girls. It was a more innocent time.
I think she's right. I read an article about Little Mix that said that they were, this was a few years ago now, that were saying they were deliberately not trying to be sexy because they wanted to be themselves. So they have gone through a bit of a change.
Yeah, I mean, I remember... I'm a fan.
I love them.
So when they first were put together... and they came out, they were saying, I believe they were quotes saying, we are never gonna be that band. We're never gonna be the super sexy band.
They were saying, we're not going to be the Pussycat Dolls, basically.
Yes. But they were young girls then.
Yes.
So of course they weren't. Whereas now they are women.
Yes.
And, they probably want to dress differently. And they've obviously matured. And it smacks a little bit of Britney Spears' I want to stay a virgin till I'm married. So you make a comment when you're younger in interviews that gets picked up on, and then people are constantly chasing it.
Jessica Simpson, another great example.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas, and also what you've got to give Little Mix credit for is they are dancing, they are singing on stage.
Yes.
They're not really flapping out anything.
No.
I mean, God love, Jessie loves a high crotch line.
Yeah.
It is high, but then she's not showing everything else off.
And
she has got big chests, that is out.
They've got amazing bodies that they've worked so hard for. So if they want to show it off...
it's very much... So what Mel C said is maybe something I feel I would have really agreed with maybe when I was a bit younger, because I guess I've always felt a kinship to Mel C growing up because I was also not that girly when I was younger, more modestly dressing than my peers, etc. However, I do get concerned nowadays when I think about my past attitudes towards that, in that perhaps it starts to go into the realm of a little bit slut-shamey. And I think we have to be careful. It's like, just because if somebody wears a very kind of skimpy stage costume.
Let's be clear,
dances around.
Little Mix are most of the times when they're on stage, they're in leotards.
Yes.
So their costumes are based on leotards. And they have cutouts. But as someone that works in the circus, I can tell you I end up wearing a lot less than Little Mix. Not necessarily because I've requested that, but because that's what corporates send you.
Yes. But even regardless of what they're wearing, it should really be, they should be able to wear what they like. It's a performance. Yeah. And you know, we shouldn't necessarily shame them for that. So I see where she's coming from, but I also wonder if maybe she should have not kind of judged them too harshly for that, because I mean, you know, she was in a band with Jerry in the Union Jack dress. It's not as if...
Well, she does go on to clarify her comments later. I really don't think she was trying to shade them.
No.
I think it is taken out of context. I think what she's trying to say is, I think they're a great band. I worry about the effect this has on my daughter.
Right.
I think they're great role models, though. And she's trying to be positive, and I don't think Little Mix would have been like, oh, what a B word.
Right, yeah.
So what she says is, why do young girls want to be portrayed in that way? In my experience, I wore tracksuits. I never felt that us girls, as Spice Girls, wouldn't put under any pressure to be sexy. I mean, it's arguable. The Spice Girls were extremely sexualised.
Yeah, they were.
To become one.
Victoria wore a catsuit or a bikini and skirt.
Yes.
When you look back now, Victoria is mostly in a bikini top.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jerry's skirts very rarely went past her navel.
Yeah.
Emma was made to look younger. She was made to play this
still
sort of
very
Lolita image.
sexualised. And Mel B always had the plunge, you know, right down.
Yeah.
Yes, Mel C was in tracksuits, and maybe she didn't notice quite so much. And I guess that's a good comment to make. I never felt that us girls, as Spice Girls, were put under any pressure to be sexy.
But they were definitely put under pressure to be skinny.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So there was superficialness in some way.
Yes. Yeah. So I suppose what maybe what she's saying there, we were never put under pressure. That's just how we were. Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Anyone else want to say it?
Yeah.
I think we've said, we've made the point. But at least, like, this is what I would say. Little Mix are normally in leotards, which I think is a smart move, because nothing can get out and no one can get in.
Yeah.
It's a twat guard. I'm twat guard. I just heard it.
Did you not mean that?
No.
Did you mean twat as in boy?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not what I heard. Maybe
We'll
not
leave
include
the
it.
extra part of the edit.
I would put that in your bloopers.
Yeah, put it in the bloopers. Good idea. This is Lauren's episode.
Yeah.
So in 2015, we get a somewhat surprising move from Melanie.
More music?
Well, if you're a big fan of her Beautiful Intentions album and Next Best Superstar song, she's confirmed as a judge on TV talent show Asia's Got Talent.
Wow. After, you know, the slagging off of the TV talent show, she definitely then was like, oh well.
Like we said, people are allowed to grow and change their minds.
Yeah,
Let's stop
indeed.
holding people to the standards that are set when they were young women.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll try not to buy into cancel culture too much, yeah.
Into what?
Oh, never mind.
Let's not hate on the Got Talent brand.
Yeah.
Yet.
Over it. It was the first time the show was launching in that territory. So maybe she thought people wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
Maybe she's trying to break it down from the inside.
Perhaps.
Maybe some of her fan base.
She did the Jessie J before Jessie J did a Jessie J in China. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. A Jessie J went and performed on...
It was a talent show for people who were already successful musicians. And it was her against a lot of other Asian artists, and she won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snaps to Jessie J.
Yeah.
Well, she was never underrated because she had success at the early part, but people turned on her quick.
Yeah, because she was bisexual, shock horror.
Yeah.
I don't think that's why people turned on her. You don't hear much about her being bisexual now. I feel like
but there was a lot of things
was,
about sexuality.
I think that was one of those... I think that's another example of a young woman saying something slightly out of context and it being taken by the press and then having to run with it.
Yeah.
I think she probably said something along the lines of, I've experimented, and then it became, you're bisexual, and then that makes her an icon to lesbians and bisexual women everywhere.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there's that pressure. That's difficult.
Yeah.
It's coming in season 27. Asia's Got Talent. Melanie C's on it. it's done in multiple languages. Because of course it would have to be.
Of course.
Melanie C only speaks English and a bit of German.
Yeah.
So there was always translators on hand, which is kind of odd. And it's the first of its kind within the Got Talent brand.
Yeah.
So all of the judges spoke different languages. So sometimes they would speak in their own and it would be translated.
Oh,
Wow.
Which is interesting. It's been difficult.
Difficult to edit, and how do you keep it cohesive? How do they communicate with each other?
I imagine there were multiple edits then that were
Yeah.
aired. Because it was aired in multiple different countries.
Right,
Probably
right.
went to a different group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Melanie gave her golden buzzer to an acrobatic act, Gao Lin and Yu Xin. I'm sorry, I probably said those names wrong. I just brutalised the language. I apologise. So she likes circus acts.
Woohoo!
Check me up online, Melanie. She only did one season, so I just see it as a nice little paid holiday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adding those stamps to Scarlet's passport.
Yeah.
She's probably never properly... I know, like, the Spice Girls were global, but she probably never got to see Asia properly. Because they were...
And she'd have been so famous then as well. And
Yeah.
now she
Yeah.
probably could get away with putting some sunglasses on and
Yeah.
exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that must have been a nice little trip. They
Little
love a
jaunt.
working holiday, don't they, the Spice Girls?
They love it, yeah.
But after this, we get back to music. Proper music. So
Proper.
she features as a vocalist, rather unexpectedly, in a collaboration with Sons of Sonics, which is a British production duo who, I took this from their website, who pride themselves on creating timeless unboxed music.
Ooh.
Mysterious.
Unboxed.
Unboxed.
Well, it's a stark departure from her earlier work. I mean, these people are credited with working with Ty Dolla $ign, Wretch 32, Stormzy, so something a little more urban.
Yeah.
The track was called Numb. Digital Spy described it as a massive tropical banger.
I loved it.
It's much more electronic, which is a big departure from the sort of grums? Guitars and strings, I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But I got grums.
Guitar and drums.
That's where I don't know. She does like a string instrument.
Yeah, she does.
Do you have anything more you want to say about the song? While I figure out my wording?
Go on. Give us a cohesive sentence.
Trying to. No, I really like the song because it is something different, but it suits her voice. I mean, she'd had like a dance track before with Turn to You.
True, yeah.
But this is very much kind of modern like Kygo-esque kind of tropical house, which you know, it's
it
really
was
of
very
the time.
tropical, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it made for a good interlude for her first single proper from the new album, Anymore, which is also produced by SOS, as was much of the album. SOS is like what we call Sons of Sonic for short. Here we go.
Sons of what?
Sons of Sonics, the British production duo that made them. I just told you. Do you want to hear a bit?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'll watch the video. She looks great.
Should we pause it now?
Yes.
Surprising, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different. It is a different road she's going down again.
I remember hearing this and being stunned when it came out. If you thought Numb was a massive banger, this is Turn to You 2.0.
Yeah.
I remember working with my friend Joe at a company called Tarmac. Can you guess what they make? And being like, mate, Melanie C has gone to the dance floor. And she was like, you're joking. I was like, no. If you thought Stages was for the musical theatre gays, this album is for the dance floor gays. And they loved it! So it's up-tempo electro. It premiered on BBC Radio 2 with Chris Evans, which feels like a waste.
Yeah. Should have been Radio 1.
Yeah, because she's really hit the dance floor.
Yeah.
And it got to number 1 on the radio airplay chart. And it got to number 1 on the UK physical singles chart. But a number 1 is a number 1.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. In the album, Version of Me followed in October. Oh, do you want to just say first about the video?
Oh, so yeah, for the video, she's wearing like a kind of black bra with a suit jacket over. She looks.
She's got a blazer. She does.
You know, it's not like Mel C to show much skin.
Well,
Especially.
Some would say over-sexualised. Do women need to do that?
Yeah.
She used to just be tracksuits, and now I see a bra.
Maybe she's watching Little Mix
I wouldn't
videos.
let Scarlet watch it.
But no, she looks
Yeah, she
elegant.
She
and
looks
hot.
incredible and classy and sexy
Yeah.
and everything you'd want to look.
Exactly.
Also in the video, there's a lot of people listening on headphones and listening on mobiles. She's going for the streaming generation.
Yeah, she's breaking through.
Good on her. Well, the album Version of Me follows in October. She said it took her 2 years to create, so she sort of started in 2014, but with all the other projects, it meant that she couldn't focus on the album properly.
Yeah.
Which she credits to the sort of change in direction. So she said it stopped the album getting stale and meant that she could use real life scenarios to inspire the work.
Okay.
So she describes it as her first fully electronic album,
Yeah.
which I think is fair.
Yes.
She's obviously dabbled in the past a bit.
Yes.
And she did say on the sea that it was electro, but obviously this was one of the many fishes
yeah.
swimming in the sea of popular
Underneath the
music.
surface, yeah.
Concept album.
Yeah.
So this is her first time becoming an electro synth artist. It suits her.
It
really
does.
suits her.
And she looks comfortable, you know.
I don't know where she goes from this now. I mean, I would be expecting a new album from her in 2019 or 2020.
She's got to have one for this tour coming up.
Yeah, well, it would be nice of her to wait.
For like
Be
her.
respectful. I don't know what direction she goes because this really suited her.
Yeah. You know what I thought? Like, in comparison to The Sea, I mean, I enjoyed The Sea a lot, but I felt like there were some times where I was listening to tracks in it where I couldn't really hear the lyrics. Like, it felt like, for me, the instrumentals were kind of drowning out her voice a bit.
Right.
And
Like
from,
in the sea.
in The Sea. And for me, you know, the main reason I would listen to Mel C music is for her voice.
Yeah. If only Jerry had been so kind.
Yeah.
To drown herself out.
But actually, with this synth stuff, her voice is very crisp. It's very clear. It's very pushed to the front of the soundscape.
Yeah.
Driving it, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that. And
Yeah.
she sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, we get the same sort of Melanie C themes.
Yeah.
It's still a relatively heavy album. It's breakups and heartaches, but it's lighter.
But it's a breakup and heartbreak I can dance to.
Yeah.
And I'm down with that.
And that's the difference.
I'm always for that.
Yeah.
I love a breakup album.
Against a mirror, darling.
Yes,
Forever.
sorry. Well, the bloggers loved it. I mean, obviously we're past the point where she's getting reviews from mainstream media.
Yeah.
But we did get the Express. They said, when the producers calm down and our huskily powerful but always slightly vulnerable voice is allowed to soar, as on the closing quartet of tracks, the results are superb.
There you go.
The Independent called it her most accomplished solo outing to date. They gave it 3 stars, which is the same as what they gave Lady Gaga's Joanne.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, I did find a Sydney Herald review.
Yep.
Let's see. Don't come for me, Twitter. They described it as Melanie C's version of Beyonce's Lemonade, taking on her very own Becky with the good hair and alluding to her relationship breakdown with partner of 10 years and the father of Scarlet, Thomas Starr, who she split with in 2012.
That's a compliment. Is it?
It is
a
definitely.
compliment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Anything compared to Lemonade
It's
is
a compliment. Yeah. I mean, it's not correct.
I don't get that.
It's
I don't.
not correct.
But for it to be her own album that's similar, and to her life experience, maybe
I wouldn't directly.
we're not saying it's in comparison to Lemonade,
No.
but for her life experience, maybe that is her album.
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily that this song is about Thomas Starr.
No.
There's nothing that suggests that it is. It could be about anyone. I'm sure some of it is
Jerry.
influence. Well, we'll get onto that actually. But also, it's not in that same vein. Like, it's not trying to tell one cohesive theatre story in the way that Lemonade is.
Yeah.
I just think you're comparing apples and lemons.
You are quite literally
Thank you.
Appleade and Lemonade. Yeah.
But regardless, it's a brave move into electro-led dance pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which finally paid off. It was easily our most successful album in over a decade. I mean, it charted at number 25.
Oh.
Much higher if you looked only at physical sales.
Right.
So she was physical sales on this one. And Mel C was out doing the promo for this as well.
Yeah.
Like, she was enjoying it and she was out doing it.
It's the kind of album that would go down in a live performance because you get the crowd going, you know, it's good for bop.
And I think it's really freed her, actually, this sort of style of music. She really starts to enjoy herself, and it's good. She's out doing GAY, she's doing talk shows, she does a proper tour of the UK and into Europe, and it's good. We get 3 singles from this era, none of which really chart, but they get a fair bit of radio too. So Dear Life, which is a bit more ballady, more akin to her earlier work, but it's still got that sort of newfound dance edge. Hold On, which is a collaboration with Alex Francis, and Room for Love, which she gets a video made up of fan clips, you know, where fans lip sync to bits.
Just Brazil, then?
Not just
Not
Mel
just
C fans
Brazil.
Which I think is a lovely nod.
Yeah.
Really nice.
It's a really
paying homage, isn't it?
It's a really cohesive album. I really like it. I'm still rinsing it. We should discuss one track.
Okay.
The title track, Version of Me. The lyrics go, "This is not your playground. I'm not here for you to shoot me down. Preying on my weakness even when you're not around. Nothing lasts forever, but you're wrapped around my DNA, and I'm hiding in the corner, the wounded kid I was, like it was yesterday. Like nothing's changed. All that you've done, you see, ever so quietly, comes creeping back up on me, haunting me, goading me. Why can't you let go of me? I don't have the patience anymore."
Okay.
Ooh.
So this is about bullying.
Yeah.
And about not quite being able to let go of that person that you were, but wanting to be this sort of new version, and saying that you won't let someone take control of you in that way. She told Attitude magazine, "Unfortunately, being bullied can really damage people, and even when you are stronger and over it, it can still be in the background, undermining you. And I hope people will identify with the track." And she says it is about one of the Spice Girls.
Because before you said that, I would have maybe thought she was talking about the press. But she has specifically said...
That quote is about that track.
Yeah.
Separate quote, separate interview. She said there is one track on the album that is about a Spice Girl.
Right.
Being very tactful, she doesn't say which Spice Girl. I won't speculate.
Are we going to... Can we take a guess? Because we think we know, don't we?
Well, if you'd like to, you can.
Have I taken the book out of South Lanarkshire Library?
That wasn't the Spice Girl I was thinking.
Oh, okay, that was the one I was thinking of.
But
either one
yeah,
of those.
that could.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Emma, and I don't think it's Victoria.
Yep.
I don't think she was doing it to herself.
I think it's...
Twist, though. She could be referring to herself.
She could be referring to herself.
In a cryptic way?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Well, what she has said is, it's been addressed, they are aware of what they've done, and they apologise.
There was that quote she said years ago about Mel B, though, and about how they didn't always get on, and she didn't want to do the tour, you know, the 2007 tour, because of riffs. Oh, it's definitely about Mel B. I'd put my money on it. Not that I have any. If you want to sponsor us.
So you can make a bet.
Yeah. Lauren, what do you think?
I think it could be about either Jerry or Mel B, to be honest. And obviously it was Mel C felt she needed the catharsis of writing about it and getting it out there, but that she didn't need to go into details about who it was.
I agree, yeah. It didn't need to be.
So, fair play to her. I mean, it's sad to me to think that she went through that during their heyday. I mean, we know that she at that time was having...
knew that, though.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy.
I think they all struggled a bit. I think that was just a
did.
hard thing to
It was a
do.
power struggle, I think, definitely.
Yeah, but they also spent 24 hours with each other, you know. So, of course, when you've got those big personalities, it was possibly inevitable that there was dynamics like that.
Do you think that's going to happen to us? So, our listeners probably don't know how we record this.
Basically, Aaron does all the work, Lauren does some editing, and I do nothing but talk.
But we record them in we've recorded them in 2 split batches. So the first half of the podcast was recorded all together around New Year. So we just spend like basically a week together. And I live in
didn't
Paris.
leave my house.
In
Yeah.
pyjamas, not washing.
Well, today is a particularly ripe day for all of us. But will we get like that? We're snapping, but we're getting up.
Yeah.
Well, this is a really good era for Mel C. She's making music that she likes. It sounds fresh. It's exciting again. I couldn't have been more pleased.
Yes.
I really had time for it.
Yeah.
And it's good for at the gym. It lasts a whole section.
Fantastic. Actually, I'm going to listen to him in the next gym session.
Oh,
When are you going?
2020.
January 2020, yep. That yearly visit to the gym I do.
Just to make sure your membership still works.
Well, there's one final thing Melanie adds before the reunion. Is she becomes DJ Spice.
Yeah.
She starts doing sets at retro nights. She seems to enjoy it. It's a little string to her bow.
Yeah.
There is a quote that she says in an interview with The Guardian in 2011, I think is apt to end her episode on. There probably won't come a time when I'm not asked about the Spice Girls. Do I mind? It depends what mood I'm in. People want to know about our relationships now. When we first split, I went 2 years without speaking to some of the girls, but we're closer now than we've ever been. And I think that about sums up her relationship with it all.
Mm-hmm.
She's never going to be able to escape it in the way that maybe Victoria Beckham has.
Yeah.
And
got to
even
embrace
then,
it.
she gets pulled back to it.
Yeah.
They will always be Spice Girls. And I think she just seems so much better for having let go of trying
Resentment.
to
Yeah.
get-
Yeah.
And probably writing a few songs has helped her.
Yes.
Yeah, she does love an angsty song.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that's nice that she's just decided to kind of find her peace with it.
So, she was Sporty Spice. I think I called her Melody Spice before.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
should have written these down.
Yeah.
What would we go for now?
What would you say?
I've got a good one to talk about.
I'm gonna say musical Spice because she's still involved in all the musical parts.
Yeah.
So whether it's presenting, it's musicals, Asia's Got Talent, or she's DJing, she's still involved in music.
Yeah.
Plus all the albums she's doing.
Yeah.
So I think she's still heavily into music in ways that the other girls maybe aren't as much. You know, they're trying their hand at other things. She seems to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely done
focused.
more music than anyone.
Yes.
by a mile.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know.
That's a very good point. I wanted to say something about, I guess, mindful Spice? Mindful, like, you know, like finding her peace. She's, over this period, she's defeating her demons. She's accepting the fact that she's always going to be known as a Spice Girl, as we've said. So yeah, she's kind of embracing a kind of mindful, a much more positive state of mind than she had before.
That is beautiful, actually. That's lovely.
Yeah.
I had maybe Live Spice.
Mm-hmm.
Because... Oh, God, my computer turns off just as I say that. Sorry, Lauren. All in your edit.
So much editing.
Because her mic is rarely switched off.
That's true.
She's released 3 live concert albums. She's toured every album. She's done all those musicals, which all would be live.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's a singer more than she's a celebrity.
That's
Do you know what I
right.
mean? Like, she's
Yes.
not celebrity judge or
Yes.
anything. She's a singer,
singer.
Mel C, and it's been very in one lane.
Yeah.
Obviously with offshoots, but like you said, just musical.
Yeah.
And I think that goes beyond what any of the other girls have done. But mindful too.
Yeah.
So you can take your pick. Thank you very much for supporting this podcast. We love you for staying till the bitter end. If you have enjoyed it, please go on and rate it wherever you get your podcasts on Apple. Or if you don't want to do that because you don't like typing or stars, maybe share it with a friend. Spread the love.
And at least download the episode, please.
They've listened, I don't care what they do with it now. Thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
I thought that we could just be friends. But if you haven't subscribed, things will never be the same again.
View all our bonus content, leave your comments, and join the conversation on our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Talk to us at Pod of the Pops on all platforms.